last few months, Zoom lessons or video lessons have become more and more popular in my studio for traveling during the summer because of the pandemic. They are very, very convenient, they're effective, and they're safe. As you're setting up video lessons, however, there's some things you need to keep in mind, some settings and things like that. And that's what this video is for. First, let's look at what you'll need. You'll need a notebook, a digital device. I recommend a laptop or a desktop computer, but a phone or tablet will work. I have lots of students that use them. A pen or pencil, and of course, you'll need your instrument. It's also a good idea to have a folder to keep your music in. That's if you're printing it out. If you're not printing it out, you can keep it in a folder on your digital device. Next, we need to talk about how to set it up. There's three really common things that I run into which cause glitches during video lessons. The first one is a bandwidth overload. If you've got a student in one room doing video lessons and then their brother or sisters in the next room video gaming online, and then mom and dad are streaming Netflix in the other room, the bandwidth is going to be totally overloaded, and that's going to cause glitches in the video, and we're going to be dealing with those glitches instead of learning how to play. The second issue is a weak Wi-Fi signal. If your student is using a cell phone or a tablet or a computer that is using the Wi-Fi, make sure that your student is sitting as close to the Wi-Fi router as possible. I've had instances where students were in their room trying to do lessons and they got a glitch. And so they would move to the living room, which is closer to the router, and seamless. Everything worked just fine. The third thing to consider is a slow or overloaded computer or digital device. It's really common to have lots of applications running in the background, which can slow a computer down. So what I like to do is make sure that I close out all of those programs first so that they're not overloading my device, and only have Zoom up or your video lesson program while you're doing your lesson. Next, you need to make sure the student is in a well-lit room so that I can see the student's face and their instrument while we're learning. When we're talking about lighting, be sure to have the lighting coming towards your face. For example, if you're using a window to light you, like this window here, be sure to not have the window behind you, but maybe to the side so that it lights you, or better yet, in front of you so that I can see your face and your instrument. This is also a good thing to consider when talking about lights on the ceiling. Sometimes students will be using a digital device and they'll be sitting something like this with that light back there behind them and their whole face is just shaded out. The next thing to think about is framing. A really common setup for students is for them to be looking in the screen like this and to have their guitar down here. I can see the top of the guitar maybe, but as they play chords, I can't see their hands, I can't see what they're doing. So the best thing to do is to encourage your student to first just step back away from the digital device or the computer and sit in a way that when they're playing, I can see both of their hands and hopefully their face. Last thing you want to do is adjust some settings in Zoom before your lesson. So I'm going to cover this on a digital device and on a desktop computer. Now I am using an Apple device. This is an iPad, so it's going to look a little bit different on an Android device, but it should be pretty close to the same thing. So I'm going to go into Zoom here. And before you even go into any call or anything, there's a little gear icon on the top left. And if you click on meetings inside there, you can click first that top setting there, that auto connect to audio. You want to turn that on. A lot of times students have a hard time getting the audio turned on, and that will make it turn on automatically. I can automatically hear them. Then you're going to want to scroll down and you're going to click this little button here that says use original sound. If you read right below that, it says this will allow you to enable or disable original sound in a meeting. Original sound will turn off noise suppression. Noise suppression, I'll explain a little bit more about that here in just a minute, but it really makes it hard for me to hear instruments. Once you have these settings done, you're good to go with the digital device. But now let's take a look at what it looks like on a desktop computer. So once again, I'm in Zoom here on my computer. I am using an Apple computer. So if you're using a PC computer, this might look a little bit different, but the settings should be pretty close to the same. I'm gonna go down here and I'm gonna click on this little arrow in the bottom left by my microphone thing there, and I'm gonna click audio settings. And in here, mine are already turned on, but in the audio settings here, I'm gonna go down and click this advanced button. And here, I wanna make sure that this box right here is checked on, show in meeting option to enable original sound. When I check that, if you'll notice actually right up here in this corner, when I check that off, it turned back on. This is a little button I can click and turn the original sound on and off. And what that does is it helps with some echo. When original sound's on, the computer doesn't try to suppress echo. There's two other things to help with that, and it's these two. So suppress persistent background noise. You want that to be disabled, so you can click this drop down and disable it. I've already got it disabled, and then suppress intermittent background noises, you want to disable that one. If you have those things disabled, we'll get a lot better sound out of the lesson. What happens is the computer, if we're playing a ukulele or a guitar or any instrument really, when we're playing it, a lot of times the computer thinks that's actually background noise and it tries to cancel it out. And I have students talking to me, I can hear them just fine, but as they play the guitar, I can't hear anything. And it kind of makes things a little bit tough. So that setting will work. Make sure that the turn on original sound is on like that, and you're good to go for your computer Zoom settings. Now that you have those settings set up, you're ready to go. If this video was useful, please take the time to like it and hit the subscribe button below. And most importantly, if you could please go over and visit my Patreon site and consider becoming a patron. That's one way you can help me justify making more videos like this. Thank you so much. Take care.